Take it outside or get a room.
Oh. No raise.
I mean, Faggot must be thinking, every time it's for your my big blind, can't you just fold once? And he can't. And this time, Cooper has flopped the best of it.
Check.
Should Don be betting here?
Yeah, I think Don
Check.
should bet, but he's just playing very cagey, isn't he?
I think he just wants to be very careful against Cooper, doesn't he? I mean, Cooper is so trappy.
He is.
Check.
Seems like the only time you know Cooper doesn't have anything is when he bets.
8,000.
Huh.
Pass.
And levels on levels. Cooper thought Fagin was the one doing the trapping.
Yeah, as it's turned out, Jesse, Fagan's
Some
played it very
funny
well.
races, this thing.
I don't know what's gone through these guys' heads. I think the worst hand has won between them just like every time. But, four ways, still 3 and 6,000, and you mentioned that Fagin has been benefiting by the way this game is going. I think he had 20,000 at one point. He's basically worked his way back up to over 110, and he only had to turn his cards over once with the jacks. He's kind of kept his chips out of danger.
Oh.
He hasn't risked his chips, which is what poker's all about.
This time he's just... Well, it's a small blind. Cooper has limped from the button.
Raise.
And raised announced by Fagin. Ace Jack. How much is he going to make it?
25 more.
25,000 more.
That's quite a big raise, Jesse.
This is what Big TR was waiting for. Don has stuck in a third of his stack. Can Trevor get him to bite for the rest?
He's slow playing this, Jesse.
You think he might just flat call?
I don't think he flat calls. I think he'll put in a small raise. I don't think he moves all in. He's just working out what he's got left.
Reardon started this hand with 100,000 even. If he calls the raise, he's going to have 70,000 to work with. What's the best way for him to play it?
The way I would play it is I would double
Re-raise.
Re-raise.
I would double Don's bet, and then hoping that Don then goes all in. And I think that's the way he's playing it, Jesse.
Looks like it. It looks like it.
It might make Don think that he's not that strong.
He's counting this about 20 times.
25.
And you've done, it's exactly what he's done. He'll try and get Fagin on the hook. The problem...
1,000 more.
Fagin wants to know how much it is. This is very, very tough for Don. I mean, this is where we find out exactly what Don Fagin is made of, I think.
I think Don's going to move all in here, Jesse. I think Trevor's played this perfectly. He's trapped him here.
At the end of the day, Ace-Jack's just not that good a hand, is it, to a re-raise?
No, and I don't think he can flat call this. He's either going to pass or move all in.
The interesting thing is, I know a lot of people don't believe in pot odds, but Don's actually getting the odds to try and peel off an ace. I think his problem would be, Anthony, that if he calls, he won't even know if the ace is the card he's looking for.
No, but I think Don feels he is behind, but I think Don thinks it's gambling time.
Trevor is trying to wheel those chips into the pot. I mean, look, Trevor's like, stick them in.
Trevor will be happy to take this pot down, Jesse, as it is.
Fagin
You
has
want
to...
the top player, don't you? That's Ace Kings, you know.
Ah,
You know, all this...
influenced me at all. I have a good hand here.
Big TR wants him to pass here by saying I passed an ace-king earlier. You know I've got a tight image. Donny's going to call this, I'm sure of it, Jesse. I would call this.
Don's just said I've got a good hand here. His hand is a lot better than it needs to be for him to have played like he has so far.
It's easy sitting here. We know Reardon's got the kings. Donny's going to gamble.
Oh, he's probably the 6 in down.
So
No,
to
6.
call at the end of the day.
That's 31
I
total.
wonder. I just wonder, Anthony, what Fagan's thinking about doing with the rest of his chips.
That's it. Thank you very much.
I couldn't
Call.
just call that, Jesse, because if you just call it and an ace does come on the flop, Reardon could have ace-king. Then Fagan's tailed off.
130,000. Trevor Reardon's gambling. He's going for it all, and the ace has hit the board.
He doesn't get paid now, Don.
All in.
He doesn't get paid. If he'd have
All in.
moved all in earlier, he would have got paid.
Oh, you can hear that sigh from Trevor, and you can't blame him. This is what he wanted to gamble with. He passed the ace-king once, looking for a better opportunity. He found it, and now the mother of all cards, the one he doesn't want to see, the ace has hit the board. And
But what he's thinking, Jesse, is he hasn't got many chips left. Should he gamble and try and hit a king?
but I don't see how he can fold that. I think he was mentally committed, Anthony.
He is pot committed. He knows he should pass, but I think he's going to have to call it.
I mean, you know, Don could be playing very trickily with queens or jacks or tens, couldn't he?
Don't worry about that, Jesse. Trevor wants to put this hand down, but he's got too many chips in the middle.
Can only be ahead of queens or jacks, I think.
That's what he's saying. There's 168,000 in there, though.
Have I got the club?
He hasn't got any clubs, Jesse.
No, it's...
He, kno-
yeah.
he knows he's behind. What do you do, Jesse? You know you're behind. Do you throw your chips in knowing you're losing?
I'll tell you what, if this wasn't a $360,000 prize pool, he would have called. Sometimes you just got. You can't really blame Trevor there.
He's decided to gamble, Jesse. He's
Yeah.
pot committed. What can he do?
I feel like Trevor must have been mentally committed with those chips no matter what came on the flop. He was trying to get Don to put his chips in. He got the action he wanted, and Fagan has now outdrawn him on the flop. There's 200,000 in there, and it is Reardon all in. He needs one of two kings on the river. This is an unfortunate way to go for Big TR. This is no fun for him. And that's the end of the story.
I think he's got me covered, hasn't he?
Yeah, you've got 38. You've got more than 38.
Played it well, Anthony.
He's got more. He's got him covered, Martin.
He played it well, Jesse. He couldn't get away
Okay.
from the hand because I mean Don should have moved all in pre-flop, and Trevor's got a call anyway. So you know, don't feel sorry for yourself. You know, Trevor, you've done nothing wrong this evening. You've played a good game, but unfortunately you got outdrawn.
The big story, though, Kaluki Don Fagan, who has gotten himself back in this tournament, back in it. He's nearly the chip leader. He has 10 times more than he had before. This has been a game of the Pocket Kings. And Fagan zooming up by knocking out Trevor Reardon up to 218,000. But Joe Kwami's still the chip leader here, Anthony.
Yeah, he is, and he's played very, very well. Don Fagan, though, you know, that's ominous, Jesse, isn't it? You know, half hour ago he was languishing bottom of the pile, and now all of a sudden he's in second place.
With the cameras rolling and the spotlights focused on our top players, who will crack under the pressure? Find out after the break.
Wanna play poker?
Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. The remaining players are all eyeing up a seat at the semi-final table. Who will grab the chips and make a dash for the winnings? We go over to Jesse May and Anthony Hardy.
Big blind for Rob Cooper, even though he's the short stack. As far as the blinds are concerned, he's got a fortune of riches. Fagan on the button. You know,
Pass.
when you talk about guys keeping their composure, the fact that Fagan went so deep in the World Series, I mean, he played for, you know, about 8
Call.
days straight against the best players in
No
the world,
raise.
and was one pot away probably from a really deep finish. It just gives you so much confidence, doesn't it?
It does. This is slightly different, though, Jesse, because there's not so much play in this sort of event.
Look at this flop.
Check, check.
Rob Cooper thinks he's trapping with the top 2 pair, but Chicken Joe's flopped 3 of a kind. I think Cooper might do his money here.
Yeah, I think Joe
Okay.
checks again here.
Well, that king may have saved Cooper from losing his whole stack. And
Minimum bet here from Joe, and I think Cooper probably
10,000.
calls it.
Called and clear.